awesome.
Yeah, so I'm excited because everybody that I run into, just like you, they're always saying, "Man, Ray, I think you're going to make a great realtor."
Yeah.
Well, and you know, like a lot of the finance side of it too. That's I think
Yeah.
that's important, especially if you're going to be a realtor, to also know both sides of it. You know, you got to be a little familiar with both.
Absolutely.
Well,
You
he's
want
definitely
them.
negotiated on enough properties. Not
Yeah.
only
Oh yeah.
using realtors, doing it on your own. That's big time right there.
Yeah.
You know, being able to experience it and have that experience to bring to the table as a realtor.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
having the and then you also ethical and having that. You know, if somebody finds a good deal, you know, there's going to be times where people grow. You know, like you're growing, and where sometimes you need your realtor, sometimes you don't. But you are.
Yeah.
I can tell you, you know, we've grown as friends, but
Absolutely.
it's you've been very faithful to keeping using your team. That's
Absolutely.
why we've actually became a team.
That's also kind of part of how, like, you talk to like all the big guys who quote unquote made it, right? Everybody has a small circle.
Mhm.
Nobody's doing like all this big stuff with like a crowd of people. It's like 5 dudes who start investing. You
Have
know, it's like
your circle is crucial.
Absolutely.
Reverend, can I have you talking to the mic?
Yes, Anthony, how you doing today?
Doing well.
Very good, very good. Did you get me? I'm not sure. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, perfect.
And then Robert, can I have you talking to the mic?
Check 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. Is it too
Yeah,
far?
it's a little too far from you.
How about now?
Check.
Check 1 2 3.
That's
Check
good.
check 1 2 3.
That's good. And Bobby?
hello, testing.
All right, we're
Mortgage
good.
Talk podcast.
Okay, so I'm going to try something a little different today.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you guys an 8:16 time mark.
Producers.
So
Sorry.
when we hit 20 minutes, I'm going to put a timer for about 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Just so I feel like I'm not rushing you guys. And I feel like, you know, when I give you like a 5-minute mark, it's like, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that way I'm going to have it right here. That way you guys have an idea of where you guys are going, how to finish things off, and
Okay.
That's cool.
see. We're going to try that today.
Sounds. Hey,
Yeah, I'm good.
we're all yours, man. Lead us.
Sounds
So
good.
I'll still give you the 8-minute mark, the 16-minute mark, but once it hits around 20 minutes, I'm going to put a timer right here, so that way you guys have an idea of where you guys are at.
Right on. We got it.
Mhm.
Okay. Right on, brother.
Like
Thank you.
No problem. All right, and then everyone ready?
Yeah, start us off.
Alrighty.
We are ready.
All right. And whenever ready.
And welcome back to Mortgage Podcast on 960 AM with
Mortgage
loan,
talk.
with loan originator Robert Bulmer, NMLS number 322918, and Bobby Bulmer, NMLS number 2060902, and Mr. Raymond Aquino, our investor slash realtor, or almost realtor, very close to being a realtor. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody out there who's listening. We have some interesting topics today. Some stuff about the market and kind of what we're doing with, you know, the holiday season, kind of how everything's slowed down, and still how the news is pushing the fear mongering on everybody, and we're going to kind of touch base on that too today.
So yeah, I have a couple realtor tips regarding seller credits. You know, we're gonna get into Raymond. You know, you're working on your realtor. You were talking about your realtor class you just recently had. But seller credits, once a realtor establishes a seller's bottom line, what's the worst case scenario price? Then we don't have to freak out about seller credits when we hear a buyer wants seller credits, because that's where the market's trending. I think we could all agree that, and when we're seeing the market and when you're talking to people, Bobby and I, of course, are seeing it, and how we're coaching up our buyers is, hey, this market, one of the big advantages is getting those seller credits to help cover closing costs and rate buy down. I mean, when you look at the the people when the markets were great, when rates were super great, when we look at the difference in payment from then till now, and versus the seller credits people don't have to, are getting from the seller to cover their buyer's cost, man, it's going to take years, 2 or more years, to pay that an extra payment. So chances are there'll be a time where we can reduce the payment, especially if you're buying with minimum down payment. You got to go into it thinking, hey, there's going to be a time where I'm going to want to refinance. to get the best payment. So Ray, how was your realtor class, Raymond?
Hello, everyone. Very good, very good. Thank you. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Robert. Hello, everyone out there. Merry Christmas, by the way. And let's start it
Merry
off
Christmas,
right.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas is upon us, and everything has slowed down, as everyone can see and feel, right? Because of all the prices going up and everything. But the realtor class I took last night, along with every other Wednesday for about 4 weeks now. Awesome. Yesterday we did units or chapters 13, 14, and 15 on the principles book of real estate. And guys, it was just amazing. This was the best class so far. It had to do with what was it? Appraisals. It had to do with appraisals. Exactly what you guys are talking about here, right?
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing class, guys. I'm excited to get my realtor's license as well.
Yeah, that actually leads me appraisals, because we are still getting great appraisals. So getting back to seller credits, we know that as a realtor, you should be preparing your seller for worst case. Here, what's your bottom line price? What are you going to net? What's your best case price? What is your expectations? Well, and getting their expectations in line with reality. So once you know the bottom line, if we know with comps and everything, there's appraisals are coming in very strong still, because we haven't really seen that major drop. There's still plenty of buyers. We're in a housing crisis, a lot of buyers. So really, that's when we know that it'll appraise for a certain amount, understanding seller credits, your seller's bottom line, adding in the buyer's requested seller credits on top of that, and looking at that purchase price and being able to break it down, articulate it properly to your seller, that, hey, after giving this buyer these seller credits, you're going to net more than this cash buyer or this other person who's not wanting seller credits, versus just hearing, oh, the buyer wants seller credits, never mind. Let's do the basic easy math, okay? The seller wants a certain amount no matter what. Go ahead.
So right now is the best time to be creative when you're a buyer, because the market has changed. It's no longer a seller's market out there. So being out there in my market in High Desert, I'm always looking for good deals. I'm on Realtor.com, Zillow, checking out stuff, inventory that's on MLS, right? And I'm always looking for opportunities and running my numbers, running my formulas to see if it'll cash flow that 9% return that I'm looking for, or greater. Now's the time to get creative, guys. Okay, and talk to those lenders out there. Talk to your lender. Call up Robert, call up Bobby, and ask them, what can we do? This is my position. Don't be afraid to reach out and contact them, or any lender out there, right? Because you're not going to know where you stand unless you do your homework and reach out, guys. These opportunities don't just come to you. You have to go find them and make those opportunities, guys.
Yeah, I think Bobby could agree. We talk about the hunt. I call it the hunt for the house, when a buyer's hunting for a house. Once you are coached up properly, we talk about the three main factors, the three main categories when qualifying to buy a home for a home loan, for the good ones. Hunting for a house, finding the deal could take sometimes up to a couple years. I have a family we're working with now. They were hunting for 2 years and finally got the right property. So you're not missing out. We talked about, you hear on the news everything going on. I'm telling you right now, when you look at all the positives and negatives, let's look at the math. When you look at getting up to 6% of the purchase price from the person selling it to cover all the closing costs and interest rate buy down, we call it, so you can get the lowest rate possible, those are pretty solid rates historically. And when you look at that credits that they're getting to do that versus just when we were in that seller's market in the beginning of the year, when everybody was negotiating because it was a mad dash when rates were low, you know. Now all of a sudden, this is when, if you can pull it off now, this is when you come up the most. Because when rates drop again, prices skyrocket higher than the last high. So, you know, when you look at that seller credits for closing costs versus the buyers who had to pay all their closing cost, and it adds up fast. That's monthly savings. It's going to take a couple years. It's going to take a couple years to recover the money they spent on closing costs. This is a hard way to, it's a hard way to explain it. So the money you're saving, only paying the down payment when negotiating right for a home and getting those seller credits, that savings on closing cost is going to take years, 1, 2, even 3 years or more to recover that difference in payment. Oh, I missed the interest rates. Well, guess what? Here's the other advantage now. Seller credits. It's hot right now. This is the advantage for buyers. We're getting decent prices. It's a healthy market. I think our first episode, we had Bobby Tarango from Chicago Title. We got to have him on again, and his partner Mike that he works with. They are title experts, and let me tell you, we're in a healthy market with listings right now.
That's funny. Sorry to interrupt, but Bobby Tarango's name was mentioned yesterday at the real estate class that I have. Yeah. Funny you mentioned that.
He's actually really well known up here. If you guys don't know Bobby Tarango, he is the man. He is very well known. We actually had him. If you guys check out our YouTube at Mortgage Talk Podcast, you'll see our videos with him as well. But touching back on what you said about seller credits and the equation for how to calculate that, because right now, yes, everything's slowing down. You probably aren't finding realtors that are working on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve or whenever you're ready to look for a house right now this week because of the holidays. Now's a great time to hunker down and start doing some homework. Okay, so we're talking about seller credits. The equation for that is you take whatever purchase price. So let's say it's $350,000. That's the house you want. You times that, multiply it by 6%, and you could get up to 21. That's the number is 21,000 if you do with 350. You could get up to $21,000 in free money. Excuse me, for your closing cost and or interest rate buy down.
Well, you have to actually have to do that. You actually have to, because we call it hard cost. The hard cost, you actually have to, when you're buying a house, there's hard cost. These are costs everybody has. 99% of them are the same. So, you know, because there's third-party fees involved, we just talked about Bobby Tarango, which he's on the title and escrow side. Title of the home, who owns it, the county recordings. Let's do a shout-out real quick. You guys, let's go ahead, give them our number. Everybody, let's give a shout-out.
Okay, yeah, if you guys want to reach us, we're going to talk about these seller credits again coming after this break. If you guys want to call us at any time at 760-669-7813 to get a hold of us regarding any questions or information that you guys have concerns about. You can visit our website at fbchomeloans.com/rbulmer, or you can go to our YouTube at Mortgage Talk Podcast, and there we'll have the video. You can see us talking. You can see us talk with our hands. We're big hand talkers. So go check that out on the cameras. Yeah, everybody knows we talk with our hands. But yeah, give us Mr. Queen, didn't you have a
Yes. Thank you. I started this YouTube channel this year called Investing in Rentals. I found my passion, and the content that I put out is basically trying to influence people on educating themselves into buying cash flowing assets, whether it be rental properties, investment properties, or even opening up business, right? We only live once, and the opportunities come and they go, guys, and we have to recognize a good opportunity and grab it while it's there. You can reach me on Instagram as well at Ray Aquino, and on TikTok at Ray Aquino99. Now, I'd like to mention the restaurant, Springhouse Family Restaurant as well, located at 16441 Main Street, Hesperia, California. 92345-760-949-2441 is the phone number. All American Diners, been there for decades. We just took it over in 2018. Come check us out, guys, please. And thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, and go check out the YouTube channels that we mentioned too. Raymond's is investing in real estate. I found my passion. Investing in rentals. I found my passion. And ours is Mortgage Talk Podcast. And this is where all the videos you can, rewatch it to get that Springhouse restaurant, which is very good. I know we say it every time, but it is actually good. It's a good restaurant. I really like going
Thank
there.
you, guys.
It's really good food, and it really does fill you up. But yeah, going back into seller credits. What a fantastic tool that is for buyers right now.
Absolutely.
Getting thousands of dollars in free money, and you do that with any purchase price that you get. You take it regardless if it's 250, 400,000, 500,000. The max you could get is 6%.
And that's for realtors and buyers and sellers. All right, seller. This is what the buyers are wanting. This is what is motivating the buyers. This is what is making up for the interest rates and the markets. This is what is the advantage for a buyer. It can be a win-win situation. So sellers, agents, realtors representing sellers, realtors representing buyers, this is what saves our buyers money. And really it's up to the sellers and the sellers agents, realtors, to kind of educate